Hello, welcome to Melaninandalbinoid Live. I am Lady Abimbola. Welcome to today's blog. Well, the news, right now concerning my nation, Nigeria, is the fact that Nigerians all over the globe are under a form of attack. And I have actually been investigating this, analyzing things, thinking about, what actually is happening. Why are Nigerians silently being attacked all over the world? From the physical assault and throwing out of residents, hotel rooms, houses in China, to the harassment even in South Africa, to the situations happening actually here in Europe and all over the world, in America, in the east of Europe, all over the globe, even in the UK. We're now realizing what actually is going on. Why are Nigerians under attack globally? Well, I believe Nigeria is one of the nations in the world that can actually has all it takes, the potentials, the capabilities, even the citizens to become world power. Well, some analysts are watching carefully and knowing the threat of having an African or a melanin nation to be a world power. And because of this, there is a global assault, secret assault on, well, I won't call it secret because it's not secret, but a silent and a very carefully orchestrated assault on Nigerians. Well, one of the assaults, first of all, being targeted. As you know, my own website, I talk about the gang stalking program, I talk about the racist system, and I talk about the abuse of our fundamental human rights. And, racism is something that actually we have been trying to deal with for a very long time. But with the recent assault and the killing of George Floyd has actually changed the dynamics of the racist system. Well, because so many places are trying to, I'll use the word try and loosely, okay? I'm not even using it firmly. I'm using the word, they're trying to kind of see to it that certain things are changed. Well, if I use the word trying loosely, it means that no concrete and solidified decisions are being made than all the songs Black Lives Matters. It's not just singing Black Lives Matters like we're in a slave field and we're singing we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We were still slaves until they were ready to let us go. And even when they actually physically released us as a slave, the KKK was sent after us to actually continue to make sure that they inculcate slave mentality in so many melanin. Until today, every constitutions, law, infrastructures, offices, social settings, entertainment world, the social media world is actually infiltrated with the reminder of stigmatizing the melanin race and placing us in a class with a bad name. Well, what I'm saying is that I have been watching things, studying things, and I've been so hot. And when you talk about things, when you're hot, you can talk out of anger and bitterness, and not even being able to express everything because you're really hot. You see, the unfairness, the unjust manner the melanin people are being treated is unacceptable. some cannot be enslaved while some enjoy freedom. With the George Floyd situation, some of the albinoids saw what we are actually believing from the cradle and sometimes to the grave. Some of them seized it and they kind of fought against it because they were irritated by it. So therefore, you see, when we talk about the racist system, it's not the whole of the albinoid race in its whole entirety that they are all involved in this system. There are just some few white supremacists in a position of power that actually manipulate, controls, and mind control the situation that actually involves people that benefit from the racist system. Well, as a melanin person myself, being on the receiving end of the racist system, sabotage of work, hindrances in life, limitations, ostracizing us, and stigmatizing our reputation, and the slander campaign and shame, and also making sure our economics were limited, even in our finances. This is not acceptable, because if we're capable, because the stigma is that, oh, they don't want to work, they're lazy. It amuses me. It amuses me, because if we're a race that actually we built the pyramids of Egypt, we built everything that can be built, even the White House in the United States. We built everything you can think of globally with our bare hands. There's no construction company there, no machines. We are bare hands. And women were even used to practice cesarean. And so many things done in experiments, like the human zoo, the boy from Congo. So I find it amusing when you hold the hand of somebody from being, or not somebody, or of a race from being productive, and those of us that strive so much and fight against a system of destruction to establish ourselves outside of the box, even though we're not free. So it's not the matter of there's no job for us, because those of us that are creating our own jobs, we're still under attack. Except the ones married to the albinoid, they're enjoying some grace for now. The day you're divorced, the day you'll be ruined. I know a chemical engineer that was living his best life. He ordered a new Audi A4. He lived his best life. The day his wife, who is an albinoid, cheated on him, and she was even the one that filed for the divorce because she didn't want to be exposed. She filed for the divorce and took everything he owned. This guy today, as I speak, this is somebody, a chemical engineer that works in a reputable company where he works with these pet bottles and everything in this water company. He works in the chemical engineering department of the company. This guy today is hiding away in a one-room apartment, or a place where a studio apartment where probably he shares with somebody. I've not been physically there, but I've spoken with him on the phone. So that's why I said it's just you're buying time, and that's you're just buying time. So without wasting much of your time, these specifics have gone on for a very too long a time, that I'm really tired. We are all, there's no melanin person on this face of earth that does not have a brutal experience of the racist system, either being brutalized by the law enforcement agent or being criminalized, or some that was in jail from the age of 19 to the age of 50 something or 60 something. They've stolen away productive life, and out of prison, what does it get? An estate excuse. Are you kidding me? You stole all my productive years. You stole all my productive years, and the only thing I get is you to be excused. No, you're kidding. You pay for my productive years you've stolen from me. 37 years, 25 years, 17 years, 15 years in jail for what they never did. There are some that are physically in jail, and there are some that they have kept us. Even though we're not in physical jail, they've limited our lives, our productive life from being productive, from being fruitful, and those that are able to get some finances together to build something for themselves are being targeted and destroyed. Well, Husspuppi, aka is known a Nigerian guy known as Husspuppi. His name is Ramon Abbas, aka Husspuppi. He's popularly known as Husspuppi. Was abducted, kidnapped, according to his lawyer, kidnapped by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, according to his lawyer, Attorney Gal Pissetzky of Pissetzky and Bellina law fame in Chicago, who is actually defending Mr. Abbas, aka Husspuppi, who was accused of a multi-million-dollar fraud and money laundering by the United States of America, was kidnapped by the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, from Dubai, stating that the Federal Bureau of Investigation and American government acted illegally when they kidnapped him from Dubai without any legal processing to do so. Melanin people, I want you to listen to this. So many things is being done to us that is not legally processed. But if you don't know your right, you don't know the law, you will be abused, you will be mistreated, you will be destroyed without mercy and compassion, because they are actually counting on your ignorance to destroy you. Without legal processing, it was taken away from Dubai. And when you take somebody without their permission, without any legal backing or processing, it's called kidnap. And according to Attorney Gal Pissetzky, who is the defending attorney of Mr. Ramon Abbas, popularly known as Husspuppi, according to him, he said that there was no extradition. There was no extradition. There was no extradition. There was no legal steps taken. That means there was no court documents filed that backs up the humiliating, traumatizing, disgracing, and stressing attack placed on Husspuppi. It was simply somebody made a call to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and they acted on this call. So many melanin people have had this situation. I have had an experience of the racist system also, whereby I resided in a residence, paid legally. I never faulted in my rent. During the coronavirus, they actually asked me to pay double of the rent I'm paying. not double like 2 months, double of times 2 of what I'm paying. So instead of paying what I'm paying every month, I'm going to pay times 2 of that. Why? Because according to them, because of the virus. Of course, I refuse to be defrauded. I informed the law enforcement agent, the military police. They said there's nothing they can do concerning the situation. I told the police. The police told me they cannot, ask me out of the residence since I'm paying regularly, and there is a national order that we all stay indoor. Based on this, I wanted to take a legal action against them then, but based on this information by the police, I went back to the residence without taking legal actions against them again, because I was fearing for my life. And I went back to the residence. When my rent expired, I brought out my credit card. I want to pay for the next rent and everything. They said either I pay the double rent or they will ask me out of it. They called the police. The police don't have any jurisdictional authority to force me out of the place. They beat me up. They physically assaulted me. They handcuffed me and they took me to their station where they manipulated. They wrote a false report. The police wrote a false report of what happened, and they told the one of the responsible, the female responsible that was at the station, they invited her to the station to take their bag. They actually intentionally told them to take their bag. What do they mean by that? So why I tell my own story is that since I talk about, I don't want to use the word activist any longer, so it doesn't look as if you want to make trouble or whatever, anything that can be, connected with activism. But I am a concerned human being. I'm a concerned human being. I hate injustice. No matter who is for or against, I hate injustice. There are so many actions taken against the melanin people. When the coronavirus first started, the first thing they said, as the melanin person, having melanin in our blood makes us very resistant to the virus, because it was just the albinoid people dying. Then all of a sudden, during the pandemic, the melanin people started being pushed out of residence, being assaulted, being exposed to the virus, pushed out on the street from their houses, from their residence, from their hotel rooms, all over the world. Not just in China, all over the world, because the same thing happened to me in Italy, forcing me to be exposed to the virus. All of a sudden, now they say, oh, we are more receptive to the virus. Why? If you notice, in one of my blogs, I talk about when they started pushing and taking the blood of the melanin people in China, 2 Chinese doctors was cured of the virus. But when they were cured, they turned black. Why? It is obvious they were injected with melanin. So therefore, I believe we have a stronger resistance to any virus, the bullshit virus they're talking about. Because the doctors injected with melanin was cured. Then we have the melanin all over our body cannot be cured, are more subjected to have the infection. Let's move on. Anyway, when the Puff Daddy, Husspuppi, this is a live video. It's not going to be edited, so I'm very sorry. When Husspuppi was actually extradited from Dubai, there was no court document filed. It was simply somebody placed a call to the FBI and they came and they got him. First of all, Husspuppi, Mr. Ramon Melaninandalbinoid Abbas is not a citizen of the United States of America. They had absolutely no authority to take him from Dubai to America because he doesn't have American citizenship. The Dubai police said after things started coming out, you see, one thing you have to understand, when the authorities mess up, they do things illegally, they always try to quickly cover their tracks by manipulating situations. Now, the Dubai police, knowing they actually, I believe also they may be actually jealous of this young millionaire who is from Africa, and they collaborated with the FBI without any doubt. Because you see, we have been placed in a class with a black name. So when they link a Nigerian with fraud, with criminality, with all kinds of things, automatically people cooperate and believe it is the fact. Even Nigerian bloggers, oh, you've done this, you've done that. I have to send some blogs that zip it. You bloggers, you don't know what you're talking about. Either you're talking out of jealousy or you're just talking nonsense. This is a criminal act, propaganda, insult on the Federal Republic of Nigerian citizens. The Dubai police said in a Facebook post that the FBI director attacked them for extraditing the two men. Extradition is probably, getting rid of you from a country, like almost like deporting you from a country away. But the logical thing to do is, when you extradite somebody that has your document in your country, you send them back to their country of origin. But when they now send this person to the United States, just like what I said in my video yesterday when I was on the bike, there's more to this than meets the eye. He's being targeted because he's a Nigerian millionaire. They want part of that money. And the only person that can stop them from ruining, because if they target you, they're not turning back until you're part of them, that you're useful to them, or they destroy you. It's either you're useful to them or they destroy. I know, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from experience. The U.S. Department of Justice spokesman responded in an email, said the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, special agents earlier this week, when the whole thing happened, obtained custody of the two men without giving further details. Normally, when you get a criminal or whatever, you book them, you give details to colleagues. Okay, they were booked for this reason or whatever, and there's some details. But in this case, when they begin to hide, we're actually being led by a mafia state. He never gave further details. Attorney Pissetzky, the defendant attorney, is not convinced of this bull crap. It clearly states that if Dubai authorities wanted to expel him from their country, they should have expelled him back to Nigeria. End of case. You Nigerian bloggers, I hope you're watching this. I hope you see the fact from nonsense that you speak about. Is Fawana is a fraudster. This is a nonsense propaganda they place on our heads to hate each other. They called me, they said I was into criminal activities. They called me all kinds of names. Yes, the authority stigmatized my reputation, but my legal status is clean. I have never committed any crime before in my life. I have never been arrested for any crime before in my life. I have never done anything criminally inclined in my life. I have represented my family with dignity and with honor. I have represented the human race, the female race with dignity and with honor. And most especially, I have upheld good patriotism and a real citizen, as a real citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I've defended and represented my country with dignity and with pride and honor in this country where I abide. They stigmatized my reputation, blackballed me from the society, mind control while they were stealing my properties, stealing my money, sabotaging my work, obstructing justice, and doing all kinds, to the extent that they were so frustrated with me that the law enforcement agent orchestrated everything they orchestrated and placed their hand on me and placed me in handcuffs without a crime. Condemned, a race condemned without a crime. You see, racism is something people will say is ignorance. People can say it's wickedness, it's prejudice, discrimination. But racism is more than that to us. Racism has killed. The racist system has sent so many melanin people to an early grave, aborted so many destiny, destroyed so many professions, destroyed so many economics. All they need to do is target one of us or a group of us, and they begin to gang stalk us, to mob us until they destroy us. Now, why I'm saying this, and I draw in my own personal experience with the racist system, is that Mr. Ramon Abbas, who actually, I believe, is a citizen or has a permanent residence in Dubai, never did anything against the law of Dubai. But when the Federal Bureau of Investigation came in, he was placed under suspicion. And because of his lifestyle, nobody except me and hopefully other wise people questioned their accusation. We live in a world where propaganda is their major weapon. Very deceptive lies, slander campaign. You link Nigeria with criminality, with fraudster, nobody will judge you because that is a class they have placed us. But you know what actually amuses me and makes me think? What class did they place the slave traders who stole human beings, who is supposed to be accused of human trafficking, abused of fundamental human rights, using people as slaves? Some die in the process. Some even died before even reaching the destination. So, homicide. How many have been arrested and jailed? But somebody throws out a propaganda against a melanin person, and everybody takes it hook, line, and sinker without even thinking twice about it, that this is a lie, this is an exaggeration. They're just, creating stories where there is not. Well, to burst your bubble, I'm not just informing you about this correct and legit information. I also want you to realize that since the FBI was the main instrument to use, because they usually use law enforcement, because those are people that can take you, even sometimes illegally, do things to you, then you fight it later. This man is worth $40 million. Is a lot of money in the hand of a melanin person. So the major concern is not how he lives his life, it's not what he's doing. They don't care. They are worse criminals. They traffic human, they traffic weapon, they create war, they sell weapon in war, they sell bombs, they create, atomic bomb, they create, deadly pharmaceutical, they steal people's blood. They commit worse crime. It's not what he's doing or what he's not doing that is of their concern. It's the fact that he's intelligent enough to generate that much funds to live an easy life instead of living a slave life. The unfortunate thing here is that they've zeroed in on him. Even if he is released, which I think he would, when he is released, they are not letting go. The best thing right now, if he's released, to go back to Nigeria. That is the only safe ground. But while he's in Nigeria, I don't think he's a stupid person, he's a very intelligent guy. He doesn't need to mix with everybody. The same musician, I don't want to call his name starts with D. When they arrested him, he unfollowed him on Instagram or in all the social network and all the states. All of a sudden, there's news that he may be released. He's now trying to get in touch with him. And actually, maybe he called him in prison. That is how life is. I hope when it comes out, he understands all this. He's not supposed to trust anybody. Once you're a target, you cannot trust anybody. You cannot even trust your own family when you're a target. Your family can be manipulated against you. Your friends definitely will be manipulated. Strangers, hoodlums, ex-convicts, all kinds of people will be manipulated, mind control, brainwashed against you, and people are placed around you as infiltrators. As they've had their eyes on him until they take his money or it becomes part of them by marrying a white or, transferring the fund to them or whatever thing, as long as they profit from it, from his money, they will not let him go. It needs to get out of the society where they can easily set him up. Because if they actually wanted to come and kill him, the hotel that was supposed to protect him gave the FBI the key to enter. The hotels are supposed to protect their clients. If a law enforcement agent comes into an hotel, they need to present a warrant for anything they do. When they come to you and tell you we have to get into this room, we suspect them or whatever, yeah, that's their verbal words. They have a uniform. Everything looks authentic, but does not make their action authentic. Mr. Ramon Abbas, Husspuppi, is targeted, and they will not, even if he's released, they will always set him up for trouble. This is how they will plan to get to destroy his wealth. Look at the story of Michael Jackson. They will create situations, problems for him, that he will continuously go to court. So he's going to spend millions on good lawyers. This lawyer defending him now probably will get some cool millions from him. He may get $1 million, $2 million, because number one, he knows he's rich. He cannot hide that. Number two, this is a life and death situation. If they unjustly convict him, he can spend so much years in prison. So he will buy his freedom for some millions. We live in an unfair society, but unfortunately, this is the reality of the melanin people. And I pardon you African bloggers, both home and abroad, that just speak shit about this situation. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. They stigmatize us intentionally. They destroy our personality, our character. They defame our character. They slander our character intentionally to stigmatize us and place us in a class with a bad name. I have never committed a crime before in my life. I don't frequent people that commit crime or does anything. In fact, I was in a place when I was harassed in a restaurant I was staying before I moved to this house now that I'm staying right now. I was actually, I saw a lot of things that at the end of the day, believe me, the melanin people are going through daily traumatic situation, emotional distress, wickedness, afflictions on a daily basis. Some of the melanin has actually turned their mind away from the trauma by accepting it as normal and dealing with their trauma in another way. Racism is a horrible thing. It has done so much damage to the melanin race. Traumatic slave syndrome, depression, trauma, emotional distress, and in some cases, psychological distress. It is a system that has been going on for too long. We cannot continue to ignore this. We are a superior race because of the melanin we have. But going through daily harassment, daily persecution, daily distress can actually create stressful situation that would affect our health. And when your health is affected, you see that diabetic will be, because the organs will not function properly again. You have the pancreas that actually does its work, and if it is bad, people that have a bad pancreas develop diabetic. Stress can cause this. Stress can cause heart failure. Stress can destroy your kidney. Stress can destroy even your womb from being fruitful. Stress can actually make you age in time. I used to be like most of you, to handle racism as if it doesn't exist. But when I knew what it can do to the health, I will give it an eye for an eye. Whatever you do to me, I'll give it to you in 100-fold. You want to stress me out, I'll give it to you in 100-fold. Then you see, when you see how it feels, maybe you stop doing it to me. It's just like a bully. When a bully bullies you and you run back, they continue to do it because they don't know what it psychologically does to you. But when you attack back, if you have to cut their ears, if you have to do something drastic to defend yourself, you have to feed them with their own bitter pills. Then they would understand. The police that beat me up and handcuffed me unjustly, humiliated me and called me derogatory names. They slandered my character, they assaulted me, they insulted me, they called me defamatory names. Both in front of the people at the hotel, at the residence, and in their own office. They will pay for their crime. They don't know she's a wicked person, she's this, we'll deport her. Deport me, but you will pay for your crime. Do anything you want, I don't give a fuck. You will pay for your crime. I never committed crime in Italy where I live. I have never committed any crime. I have never done anything that is criminally inclined. But when you are after me, but you think you are in a position to destroy anybody, to destroy my character, to incriminate, to criminalize, to destroy my legal papers, to manipulate data, this is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. You committed a crime, you will pay the fine. That is just it. Husspuppi, Nigerian government should put him into consideration. Whatever you have against him, let the bullshit go. He's a millionaire. We need him back home. Get his million back to Nigeria. Don't harass him. Don't molest him. Don't make him uncomfortable. Make him comfortable in his own country. And he will invest that million in Nigeria. But if you don't, anywhere he goes to settle will benefit from the millions, and the FBI or whatever police, international Interpol will continue to set him up, put him in different problems. You will see from today, from this situation, he will start having different legal problems. They can set him up with women like Tyson, and the woman can say, he raped me. They will continue, he will continue to have, that is what they're doing to me. I'm under 24/7 harassment. 24/7 harassment. And so many melanin people are living the same way. Where they place cameras in hotel rooms, where you take your bath, they watch me naked. Even you see some non-entity Nigerians collaborating. Is there a mandate against me that I've committed any crime? No. If there is, I don't know of that. It will be something manipulated. Mafia state. That is all I have to say today, because I'm getting a little bit emotional. You can see that. And I want to keep it classy. Well, I am Lady Abimbola for Melaninandalbinoid Live. As I said, Melaninandalbinoid was actually stolen from me when the police harassed me. I was disoriented in that period, and I was going through so much emotional distress. I forgot that my domain needs to be renewed. I had it in mind before the incident, but after the incident, I was traumatized because of the assault of the Italian police at Marghera. And because of that, I lost my website, Melaninandalbinoid. I opened another Melaninandalbinoid Live, and I'm yet to update and fill in all what needs to be filled, because I went through, between 28th of March to July, I have moved 9 times, which means I have hired buses, transporting buses 9 good times, taking me from place to place, you know. And finally, I'm in this place by God's grace. You know, it's a house, and it's the mercy of God. Let me just put it that way: it's the mercy of God. And for now, I'm still here. For now, I'm trying to see the best angle to use to do my work and everything. And you see, I'm also, I also paint. This is Mario Baratelli. I painted. This is a Nigerian actress. I painted. I've forgotten her name. She's a very beautiful actress. I painted. And this is myself. You know, this is some of the things I do to make a living, you know. And this is also this lady that the Kardashians attacked. I've forgotten her name again. So I worked for this man some time ago, you know. So I paint also. I do. These are some of my paintings. So I'm trying to just create a small studio here where I can continue my painting, do my blogs, and also that angle. You can see that angle, my sewing machine. I plan to create a section, you know, to make my clothes. Not clothes. I can make clothes like this, but boo something just freestyle I'm doing. You can see it on my website, Abimbola Global. You can Google Abimbola Global Enterprise. I'm yet to formalize everything. Everything is under construction for economical reasons. I'm still really struggling putting things together, but it's not very easy for me. I'm trying my best to make what I can, but it's a continuous harassment, attack, persecution, and continuous sabotage of my work. I will also encourage you, if you like, because my videos is not how do they put it, something client friendly or viewers friendly, because of the situation I talk about, the gang stalking program, the racist system, and the abuse of the fundamental human right. So I don't gain anything, financial benefit for my YouTube channel, you understand? So that's why my new website, I'm trying to build it and put all my videos there. I prefer to put all my efforts. That's why you see I kind of just move aside from YouTube for a while. I'm trying to put all my effort where I can benefit from it. So that's what I intend to do on Melaninandalbinoid. Also I need the support I can get. It's not really easy. I'm trying all my possible best, and I'm really doing what I can. The racist system is real, whether you believe it or not. It's real. Some of us are a living witness of what it does, the constant sabotage, the manipulation of legal data, and the assault, the emotional assault, the physical assault, the mental assault, and the economical sabotage and distress. I will end here, and thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you in my next blog. Remember, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So as I always say, face your fears, elevate your mind, and resist every temptation to panic. And I'll see you in my next blog. Stay cool.